Make a wish. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, wow.
What you wish for? True statement. If you had a wish, tell me what would you wish for? Money and the fame, what you need all that shit for? I wish I understood life and all that we live for. I wish I had a wish, cause there's so much I would wish for. I wish for non-poverty, freedom, wisdom to all learners, happiness, health, success to all
Oh,
workers, a decrease in drugs, a decrease in drugs, a decrease in anything but love. Grant my wish. I wish I could express myself without the tears. I wish I could have faced my fears in my early
early
years.
years.
I wish I could have done something to bring my dad and mom back together. My first love should have stayed in
Stayed in
contact.
contact, however,
Could have shown how to treat a woman. It's too late. I wish I would have seen this all
oh,
coming.
coming
I wish
now.
that everybody that surrounded me was real. I wish you'd understand how I feel.
Hell
I
yeah.
wish that I could wake up to the sunshine early and rise. I wish my nigga Dutch was still here alive. I wish Kevin the best. I wish his baby mama would have survived. Cause now his
That
kids
was
won't have
him,
no parents
him
for the
for
rest
the
of
rest
their
of their
lives. I wish
lives.
Pac had never died. If I had a wish, I wish my two best friends would ride
Right.
side by side. I wish G was out the band. Not only cause I want him free, but then he wouldn't feel the way he felt
Think
about his
about his
friend. That's a
friend.
wish. Tell me what would you wish for? Yeah, money in the
Money in the fame, what you need all that
I
for.
wish I understood life and all that we live for. I wish I
Wish
had
I
a wish.
had a wish, but there's so much I wish it for. I wish for non-poverty, freedom, wisdom to all learners, happiness, health, success to all workers, decrease in love, decrease in fun, a decrease in everything for love. Grant my wish.
Yeah, yeah, I'm talking
Wow,
about
yeah.
wish. All right.
I wish,
All right,
man.
everybody, I'd like to welcome y'all to this special night. Y'all know I'm normally not even on Tuesdays, but I had to do this. This is something I couldn't pass this up. If he'd have said he wanted to do it on a Sunday in the midst of the Underground Power Hour, I'd have canceled the Underground Power Hour. So this is what we're doing, ladies and I like to introduce I like to introduce y'all to my man Andre Rainey. Wait,
Yes.
AKA. Wait, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Your honor,
Ladies and
your honor.
gentlemen, first I want to say I'm happy to be on the show, brother. I really, really appreciate you for welcoming me, man. My name is Andre Rainey, mayor of the city of Peekskill, New York, also known as Noodle New, and I'm just happy to be here and be able to talk with you, man, and share some insight. That's all. It's a blessing.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, hey, for those that's tuning in right now, special shout out to my co-host. That's my business partner. Just tuning in right there, Larry Tall. That's my right
Larry,
hand
what's
right
up?
there. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. Man, I don't even know where to start, man. All I can tell y'all is he's not a politician.
All right.
He's a politician and he's an artist.
Facts. 100.
And it's surprising it's gonna be surprising to y'all. You're not ready for it. You're not. The man, okay, I'm gonna just shut up. We're gonna go into a couple questions. The lines are open. Let me put the numbers in the thread. If there's any question that you guys may want to ask, feel free to do that. I'm gonna make sure the number get put in the threads. But
Definitely.
I'm kind of geek right now. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I got my man on here. I wish I'd have found that joint. We gonna wait till it come out and do that.
You already know.
Yeah. Oh, you see who here? Mr.
Oh,
Larry said.
my man, 100 grand. Larry,
That's
what's
right.
up, brother? That's my man.
Yeah, we got to thank my man Larry. Larry hooked this up for us, man. We got to salute
Absolutely.
Larry for doing that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, y'all make sure y'all call in with your questions, whatever it is you may want to, ask my man. We're gonna do it. But ladies and gentlemen, we got my man, the mayor of Peekskill, New York, Mr. Andre Noodle New, Rainey in the building. And
Yes,
I guess
yes.
I'll spark off the first question.
For sure. For
So,
sure. Absolutely.
the traditional question. How old were you when you started, and what was it that piqued your interest with music that made you go get deep into it?
Absolutely. I think I was I want to give a special shout out to Champagne International Music Group for holding me down. That's my management. They always take care of me, do the right thing. My brother J Day 3 out there in Las Vegas holding it down as always. But yeah, so I wrote my first rhyme when I was in third grade. I remember my Uncle Troy, they used to call him Tricky T back in the 80s. he was really the one that really inspired me to get into writing lyrics and writing songs. And I did my first performance at my 8th grade dinner dance. And once I did that performance, I knew that this is where I needed to be. We had a little group. The group was called JSIC. It was Jose, Andre, Steve, Elliot, and Craig. And we just called ourselves JSIC. And we made the acronym stand for Just a Smooth Enough Crew. And we had these Old Navy lime green vests with these Gap khaki pants and Timberland boots, with plaid shirts under the vest. And we thought we was killing it. We didn't know if we was Rough Riders or 112, but we was somewhere in the middle, But,
when you said that,
yeah. So when we went up there, we did our thing, and so that I think at that point I was like, this is really what I want to do. And my father bought me a keyboard and turntables for Christmas one year, and once he bought that, it was a wrap. I mean, back in those days, every record or every album you bought that was a single, it had the single on it, the radio edit version of it, the instrumental, and the acapella. But the instrumental ended up being my favorite part. And I would write my own songs to the beats, and it was that's when it all started. So I want to say about 8th grade was when it really hit me, saying this is where I wanted to go.
That's what's up. Now, being from any part of New York, was your biggest influence in music? Was it a New York rapper or somebody else?
Technically, yeah. I mean, my greatest influence right now, personal, is my Uncle Tricky Teeth, Troy. But on a mainstream level, I would say, I think Tupac had a powerful influence on just what I think about artists. Period. When I watched the documentary on him, he had this one quote that really like changed my whole thought process. And he said, he said, I may not be the one to change the world, but I guarantee that I'll spark the mind of the people that do. And it's like, I remember one time he said something in one of his interviews, he was talking crazy. It was crazy at the time, but it's legit now. But he was saying, if I could sell 5 million records, I could go for office. I'm sure I can get 5 million votes. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this man is going to be somebody that's going to change the world, not just through his music. I saw Pac going somewhere different. In the long run, unfortunately, God bless his soul, he got taken away from us. But his music and some of his interviews and just the way he was, the way he thought, it wasn't the way that the media portrayed him, but the way he thought really provoked a lot of influence. And I think that's probably my favorite hip hop artist of all time right now.
All right. Hey, you must got your radio up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Now I gotta say, being a politician and an artist, do they ever ever seem to be a time like a conflict of interest? Because us rappers, we get the worst end of everything when it comes to politics. So being in politics and being an artist, how do you balance that out?
So it's just it's politics and music. To me, it's about delivery, and it's about character, and it's about what you stand for. And one of my mentors, when I first let him hear some of the music, his response was, this is going to create the way he worded it was positive controversy. And he said it's going to be controversial because your people who know you as a mayor, they may not understand the music side of you unless they actually dig deep into the music. And those who knew you as an artist, they're looking at you as a mayor like, what? Like, how did you do that? Like, but it's positive because the message in both elements are the same. So what I talk about as an elected official, when I say I want to fight for this and change that and policies for this and, do this, it's like, okay, I'm in a position to actually have a voice to do it. And as an artist, a lot of artists that we grew up listening to, NWAs and the BDPs, Fight the Power, one of the most powerful songs of all time. Like, they used the music to fight for the stuff they wanted elected officials to do. So now it's like, I'm using my music to show y'all what I'm doing, but y'all need to pay attention too, because you can do it. And that's kind of where it works for me. So it's like, as a politician or elected official, I still can portray the same message I would, and as I do as an artist. So it works out.
That's cool right there. That's cool. All right now, what I'm gonna do right now? I'm still waiting. All y'all, everybody, y'all got something to say. The lines are open. Call in and holler at my man. Talk. He don't bite. He's not gonna strike you down. Call in. But what I'm gonna do right now, we're gonna go to one of your songs, man, and I picked this one here because I got a question right behind this.
Yeah. Okay. No doubt.
All right, y'all. Y'all tune in to Dub C's Let's Talk About It. Right now, we're talking to the mayor of Peekskill, New York. Y'all know what time it is. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I already know what that one is.
Feels good to be home.
It stands out on the highway.
Yeah.
Like a
Peekskill.
picture from another time.
Ain't no place like home, y'all. So believe it.
Inspires the baby's question.
I rep my city, baby.
For their
Down
mother
1-4.
as they ride.
Peekskill, I got you. Let's go. Ride with me, y'all. Take a little trip with me through 914. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my town. Welcome to the city that told me to get down. The home of E-Brand, the home of me, man. Hilton Armstrong, we did it cause we can. Chilling at the movie theaters on the weekend. Call the town center trying to find a Puerto Rican. These are the good days. Young dudes got hood ways. Young shorties here never act their age. Young cats wear do-rags, no braids or waves. Besides school, the movies is where they misbehave. We from Peekskill, baby, and the Peekskill babies rep Peekskill crazy. No Martin Luther, but it pops over on Main Street. Damn, I love the city that made. My city got them hate making, drunk bumping, loving, and you're whipping. Living life with loud music bumping in my system. Smiling at the cops, cause them haters can't get me. I feel like I'm a king in my city. Everything that we came for, but now, y'all, we gotta work harder. Till we getting money like we young S. Carters. Grind till we die, that's how all of us was brought up. So the other day, I'm driving up by the high school, and I see my man up there chilling. I'm like, yo, what you doing up here? We graduated years ago, son. The girls are here. Ride with me, y'all. Take another ride with me through 914. Niggas ice grill if they've never seen you before. They plotting on your arm, you better get out of Dodge. And if somebody dies here, we all know about it. Small city, but this shit still hood. Never doubt it. PHS to Park Street, we all got about it. 4th of July, we all hit the river, they be crowded. Hollering at them jump offs, hoping something jump off. They be frontin' most of the time, so we never jump off. 10566 rep crazy. Damn, I love the city that made me. My city got them hate making, drunk bumping, loving, and you're whipping. Living life with loud music bumping in my system. Smiling at the cops, cause them haters can't get me. I feel like I'm a king in my city. Everything that we came for, but now, y'all, we gotta work harder. Till we getting money like we young S. Carters. Grind till we die, that's how all of us was brought up. It's crazy, cause the other day I went to the barbershop, and it's like 5 barbers in there, but only one of them cut, So I'm sitting there waiting for him, and he calls me up like, yo, need to want your cut? I'm like, oh yeah. So I get up in the chair, he does a thing, he puts me up, he gives me the mirror. His son sees me. I'm like, no, you ain't getting paid for this, right? Yeah, glad you could ride with me, y'all. Hope you enjoyed your stay here in 914. All we do is play ball or beach to spit balls from Bowman and Dunbar. Even up in Still Gardens, where we dream to be at Madison Square Garden. Out of these apartments, my city's the hardest. My heart is the largest, loving it for real. You looking for me, I'm a Peekskill. My city got them hit making, drunk bumping, loving, and you're whipping. Living life with loud music bumping in my system. Smiling at the cops, cause them haters can't get me. I feel like I'm a king in my city. Everything that we came for, but now, y'all, we gotta work harder. Till we getting money like we young S. Carters. Grind till we die, that's how all of us was brought up. Peekskill, New York, y'all. Ain't no place like home, I love it. Park Street, Washington Street, Cross Lane. Ain't no place like home, but I always see somebody from Peace Gift.
Snoop, what up? Oh, that was my record, man. That was my record.
Now that's it. Now I'm stereotyping now. If I listen to that song, I wouldn't put a city official behind that song.
Right.
You be like, man, this dude's talking some real good stuff, and then he come up, you be like, oh yeah, that's the mayor. You be like, man, quit playing. But you know what?
Like, ain't no way in the world.
Talking like this, but that's a bonus though. That's a bonus.
Absolutely.
You can reach from the office or the studio booth. That's why when I was talking smack to somebody that worked it. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm interviewing the mayor of Peace. They're like, oh man, you ain't interviewing nobody. I'm like, okay. I said, man, you probably got one of them cats from Chicago. I said, okay.
The crazy thing is, everywhere when I used to perform, like we used to do, I was able to do a couple of tours growing up and some opening acts, and it got to the point because Peekskill's in Westchester County, so the biggest hip hop city in Westchester right now is known as Yonkers, because that's like the Lox came from. Shout out to the Lox, the album just dropped as well. But everybody, when you talk about Westchester, that's the first group you think of. It's like, oh, the Lox, that's where they from. So when I would go perform places, and people like, yo, after the performance is over, they're like, yo, you pretty dope, yo. Where you from again? I say Peekskill, and they say, yo, that's Westchester, right? And I would say, yeah. They would say, yo, just say you up near Yonkers. And say when somebody asks you where you from, just say you from Westchester. Say you from some Yonkers area. I said, no, I'm not from Yonkers. I got nothing but love for Yonkers, but I'm not from Yonkers. I'm from Peekskill. So I decided to make this song just to say, look, if people don't recognize what Peekskill is, and let me be the first to introduce y'all. You know what I mean? And I Peekskill my city, and then the song just came natural, man. And we started going places, and people would say, yo, you that Peekskill dude, right? Like, yeah, that's me.
That leads to my next question. Now, let's say you from it. This is where you grew up. This is your place.
Yeah.
How does it feel to now be sitting in an office representing where you come from? That have to be like a real exciting feeling.
Yeah, anytime that question is asked, I always got to take a deep breath just because it took a minute for me to process this. And the governor of New York, Governor Cuomo, he's been to Peekskill about four times since I've been in office to visit for different reasons. And I developed a really good relationship with him prior to this COVID stuff, especially too. And the reason behind that, I mean, only a few people know, was when I guess when every elected official, supervisor, town supervisor, and mayor got in office, I guess he called to congratulate them. So he called my office to congratulate me, and I thought it was a prank. So the mayors and the governors on the phone. I hung up the phone. So my secretary came back and said, there's a phone call from you on the line. Or I pick it up. Hi, this is the governor's office. This is Mayor Rainey. And I'm like, yo, who is this, yo? Stop playing. I hung up the phone. So I ran into the governor. My first year in office. I ran into the governor in March of that year at a Women's Appreciation Month event, and I had asked him because I called the number back and it said state capital of Albany. I was like, no way. So I had asked him, did you try to call me at the beginning of this year? And he said, yeah, I called and I couldn't get through. And I was like, yo, I was hanging up. I thought it was a prank. And somebody look, while I was explaining that to him, he was cracking up. And somebody took a picture of us laughing. And he sent me that picture. And from that day on, we've been able to keep in touch. And I sit back in my office still to this day, and I look around, and I got different pictures hanging up in my office now, and I just say, listen, it wasn't even a dream for me. I'm living a dream that somebody else didn't think was possible for them, and that's why I tell people, if you don't vote for me, fine, but get involved, because you never know what you can accomplish by the work you put in right now. And this position that I'm in now is all due to all of the work that I put in my community for the kids and for the youth, and what I always stand for. So I had no idea. I didn't go to high school. I didn't go to college to be to major in political science or anything like that. I went to school for journalism when I was in college, and I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to do what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? But once I got here, it was like a dream, man. It was like a dream, and I feel like the biggest thing that I realized for me, and I'm working on the second following the album project now, and it's called N, the letter N, Inspiration. I feel like my life is my purpose of life is to inspire others to do what they probably feel they can't do.
That's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
I keep getting feedback somewhere.
It might be me. Let me turn this down. All right.
All right. Perfect.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm still thinking, I'm just like, to wake up knowing that the city that you grew up in, you ran the streets and did everything in, you're now responsible. You one of the responsible people. And that has to be a real uplifting feeling.
Yeah.
But now we got to look at this side of it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, Larry said he applauds you, man.
Oh, no doubt. I see it. Much love, man. Much love. That's my man right there. I got Larry on the album too. There's nothing but love for my man.
Yeah. I did a song with him, and you know what I told him. I was like, yeah, whatever, man. Okay. I did him like everybody did me when I said, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be interviewing the mayor of people. Yeah, whatever. Man.
Yeah.
But you know, I had to give it to Lowry. I had to, yeah, whatever, man. Sure you did. Yeah, and I guess you got a song with Sammy Davis Jr. too, right?
Right. with Sam Cooke in the background.
But you know, I mean, anything's possible though, man. I got a little history too, so. But one of the questions that I really wanted to bring up with everything that's going on right now, and you being an African American male, how does that impact? You know, you sitting in the position you in such a prestige position, how does what's going on right now impact you when you're dealing with your colleagues of a different race?
Yeah, it's another level, you know, because being on the activist side, you only see things one way as an activist that has to fight for change. Being a person in position to make the change, you see things two ways. You see things as, look, you know what, I had to fight for change. We also see things like I don't have to fight for change because I could start creating a change. You know what I mean? So, but it bothers me though, because I get just as frustrated with the politicians now. I get just as frustrated with the activists as I do with the politicians. And I feel I've come to the conclusion that everything is perception. And some of these activists, or I call them actors and actresses, but some of these activists, they use people's emotions just like politicians do. But the thing is, the activists are on your side still. So it looks like what they're doing is helping you. And I know this one activist, everything that he did was because of racism. There's racism over here. That's why I didn't get the job. Not because you didn't apply. You know, it's like it was there's so many things that seem to be so common sense. But the people who follow these activists, they'll never do the research because they're relying on the activists. So when something happens, they don't say, you know what, let me go figure out how I can do this. They say, call that activist guy. He'll go over there and fight for it. And the thing that scares me the most is some of these people are following people who aren't leading because they know what they're doing. They're leading because they know how to fight.
Right.
Now, it's okay. It's beautiful to know how to fight for change and how to protest. But if you don't know what you're protesting for, or if you don't understand the process to get what you're protesting for to happen, then you're kind of leading us to the blind. And one of the major things for me is I look at social media, for example. I had to delete Facebook off my phone a couple of weeks ago for about 3 or 4 weeks, just to take a break from the nonsense I was reading. But everything is a Black Lives Matter issue now. You know, I mean, you know, if Taco Bell's closed, oh, that's because all the black kids go over there and eat tacos. No. It's because of COVID-19. Like, they had to shut the goddamn restaurant down. But people don't want that. But the activists will say, all they got to do is put on social media, hey, they closed Taco Bell because all the black people we eat over there. Okay, and now you got a group full of people following this one activist yelling at the mayor of that city about Taco Bell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and that's what happens. So I look at the activists and some of the elected officials like, wait a minute, both of y'all doing the same thing.
Pretty much.
And it's being in this position as an African American, especially during these times, like, You know, I see people put somebody from my own city, and I keep saying this. They have put up something on Facebook. I can't believe that Peekskill is the only city this year that didn't have a Juneteenth parade. That's what's up with that. And I could have went on Facebook and battled with them, but I just said, no, I'll leave it alone. But I'll tell you my response right now. First of all, we've had a Juneteenth committee for 10 years. Where you been? I mean, I understand Black Lives Matter right now, so Juneteenth is important right now. But the last 9 years that we've had Juneteenth parades, did you one? Of course not. Second thing is there's a Juneteenth committee that meets every year to make sure that they decide how we're going to raise for the parade, if we're going to have the parade, where we're going to do the parade, and so on and so forth. None of these Black Lives Matter people none of them are participating on that board at all. And the last thing to me, the most important thing is when they put something up like that, people start to believe it. So when you say that we're the only city in New York that didn't have a Juneteenth parade, me being on this side, I'm going to say, wow, let me do some research. Wait a minute. No cities did a Juneteenth parade in this county. So when a person puts on social media that, you know, we're the only city that didn't do it, and I look up and do some research and no city at all did it, and it's like, damn, so you just really misled about 75 people, because that's how many people probably like the actual post. Yeah. And that to me, that's scary and it's dangerous. So I tell people that in conclusion, the answer is the war was slavery for freedom for slavery years ago. Then the war was civil rights. And I think the war that we need to fight now is in here. You got to stop letting certain people control what you believe because you have the tools now to access anything that you want. So you have the war is psychological now. And I think that putting music out, music does something to you, you know, emotionally, that can help guide you to where you need to be. That's why you go to church and before the pastor preaches, they play about three of those, they get you amped, like, yes, I'm about to hit a word. And the word might be 6 minutes long and that's it. But that music prepares you for this. And I think that my music is going to prepare people for what I'm going to really try to do once I get higher.
That's what's up, man. That's it, man. A lot of people, my input on it is, when I look at the situation, I always say, why is it that, you know, since we're speaking of Black Lives Matter, you know, when I didn't know any better, I used to, I'm like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, Black, but then I had to stop and think about it. You know, why is it always Black Lives Matter when it become black and white? Mm-hmm. What about in the neighborhood where you come from? Yeah. When Rollo shoot the little baby down the street, where's Black Lives Matter?
Yeah. Right. And that's one of the hardest. As an artist, I have a great time discussing that, because the artist side of me, I speak how I feel. As an elected official, I got to be sensitive to people's opinions and feelings. So I got to be a little bit more sensitive to the way I deliver things. But when I'm in my element, like right now, it's really, really easy to take it to that level. And I tell people this all the time. Look, I stand for the Black Lives Matter. I'm black. You could never get me to go against that. But we do need to also make sure that it matters all the time to us. You know, because we do have those neighborhoods that we're aware of our own people harming our own people. And I'm gonna say this now. I haven't said this in an interview yet. I'm glad I can say it today. But a lot of y'all putting this crazy music out. Like you protest Black Lives Matter, then you know in your song you talking about how you just rob Lil Jake. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay if that's the lifestyle that you grew up and you lived. But I ask every artist, put at least one song out that's gonna influence somebody to do the right thing.
And speaking of music, on a music tip, I'm a Chicago native, born and raised.
Oh yeah.
I've been through the whole spiel. So I've seen the change of music when hip hop was fun. We used to go out and battle, but it was fun. Now it's to the point that you're not gonna make it out of Chicago or basically anywhere doing music. If you do it independently, you got a better chance. If you waiting for a contract, you're not gonna get it unless you're talking about popping pills, who you just killed, how many girls you raped, who mama you stabbed, and that's where all the problems coming from. Because what's the one thing that no matter what, you could be in a different mood music puts you, whatever you hear is what you emulate. And
Yeah.
that's what you just said.
Yeah.
Just like if you're driving the car and you listen to some slow old Isley Brothers, you cruising.
Yeah, exactly.
Songs nowadays, you don't hit it, you don't.
Right.
Yeah,
And you're right. And the thing that I like to tell people too, as an artist, because I don't knock anybody's art. Like if this is what you know and this is the best you can do, is the best of your ability, and that's dope. Because there's some. I grew up. I still listen to DMX. You know, I still listen to As Dark and Hell Is Hot. You know, I got a song with Styles P on the album. You know what I'm saying? And the Locks and Big and all of these, you know, these groups that came up, NWA, like.
yeah.
Like you didn't want to be a mayor back when NWA was rapping. I'll tell you that right now. Word up. Not me, at least in that area. But it's like there's a balance to it. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us, we need, even me, I need to hear that street stuff sometimes when I'm in that mood. Like sometimes I just want to go work out and I want to get them entitled that, yo, I'm about to go ahead and kill these weights. I want to hear some hardcore rap. I want to hear some street stuff where somebody's talking that recklessness, because that's influencing me to do my music. I mean, to do my workout, whatever the case is. And we need that sometimes. And it also tells a story, which is great. But I also encourage, again, it always comes back to me. I always encourage that there should be a balance. If every artist was just being themselves rather than trying to mock what's hot, we'd have a crazy entree of music. You know, my uncle used to say that hip hop was like restaurants. He said there's McDonald's everywhere you go. Doesn't mean it's good for you, but you'll see a McDonald's everywhere you go. Do you need to go open up a McDonald's chain in your community? Of course not. I want to open up a Trader Joe's. I want to open up a vegan soul food restaurant. I want to be that difference in the hip hop. And I'm not saying y'all can't go to McDonald's here and there, but you don't got to be at McDonald's every single day. It's no good for you. Same thing in hip hop. That music is cool, but you don't got to hear that music every single day. It's no good. It starts to do stuff to your body, just like food does. But it's all in here.
Right. All right. We got a question from the viewer. He said, Larry Tall. He said, how do you feel about police brutality and the killings of unarmed black men?
I feel horrific about it. It's one of the worst topics to talk about as an African American mayor. I mean, we're forming a police task force review board in my city now under the governor's executive orders to do so, just to keep track of, you know, some of the police officers in our community. But when I first got in office, you know, we had a new fire chief my second month in office, and you know, some of these new initiatives that they're creating, like the no chokehold and the duty to intervene, like all of this stuff was implemented when I was first in office 4 years ago now. And again, it's not new for me as a black man. The stories of police brutality is not new for me. But there's two answers that I want to give to that person, and I appreciate you for asking that question. First thing is we need people to be able to teach these kids. Because right now, the adults, I can't speak for all these adults right now, but the youth and the children, we got to teach them that being a judge, being a district attorney, being a police chief, that's just as cool as being a famous rapper. Because those are those people that are making those decisions that us rappers are complaining about. And the second thing is, I see so many people that jump on waves. Like right now, Black Lives Matter is hot, so everybody's talking about it. In 6 months, we're gonna go back to climate change, or we're gonna go back to Donald Trump, or we're gonna go back to this doesn't end for me. Right. Police brutality is something that we've been talking about for years. I mean, we came here as slaves, so it's some of us, it's engraved in here, and that goes back to my statement of it has to be in here. We have to stop believing that we can't be police officers. We have to stop believing that we can't be chiefs of police, that we can't be district attorneys, we can't be judges, lawyers, and attorneys, and doctors, if you will, to go further down the list. Once we get out of that mentality that we just have to be rappers, or we have to be in the hood, or we have to be, this and that, then we'll be different. And to change the subject a little bit, people talk about how do we support now that Black Lives Matter, everybody wants to support black businesses, and I think it's dope. Take advantage of it. Let's take advantage of it. But how many people that are watching right now in your neighborhood or in your community, how many black businesses do you know about that you support? And when you ask that question, you get people to say, well, there's not that many. And then when you do a little research, you find out there's 45 black businesses in your community. So when you say Black Lives Matter, don't just talk about what's hot on TV right now. What's hot on TV is police brutality, but there's numerous ways to show Black Lives Matter, and that's a whole other conversation. But I think it's horrible, and I think that we need people to step up to places places in position to make those decisions. And I'll give my final thought to that answer is Trayvon Martin's mother. She's running for office now, and she felt the system did my son wrong, so I'm gonna get in that system and make some changes. That's protesting to me. That's how you protest.
Yeah, I agree. Do something about it. Step up.
Yeah, she stepped up to the plate. Said, I can't sit back and let this happen.
The caller the viewer who asked that question, he said he appreciates you.
Oh, no doubt. Much appreciated. I appreciate him asking that.
Got another question. Maritas Vasquez. She says, how can you keep on saying Black Lives Matter, but all the blacks are getting killed and dying from black people?
I mean, well, you answered your question. Blacks are getting killed by blacks. Black Lives Matter. Like it's really simple. Like I didn't say Black Lives Matter only towards white killing. I say Black Lives Matter, period. So when I say Black Lives Matter, I mean all around. The black community need to address it just as much as they want the white community to address it. That when I say Black Lives Matter, I don't mean Black Lives Matter because that white cop killed this black guy. I mean Black Lives Matter because that white cop killed a black guy. That white judge put a man on child support before putting him on custody. That black doctor didn't let this guy come in because he had on no shoes. Like there's a lot of things that Black Lives Matter stands for me personally. So yeah, Black Lives Matter. I mean, we have a judicial system right now. We have a court system right now where a man could go in court and he could be put on child support without even custody. So basically, the judge can put a person on child support without even knowing who's really taking care of the kids. To me, that's ridiculous. That's legalized extortion. Like, if I take care of my kid and she breaks up with me and puts me on child support, I gotta pay child support. Simple as that. I know a person who didn't know his father for about 15 years, didn't know who his real father was. When he was 19, 20 years old, his mother went back to put his father on child support. She took the child away from him, moved away, didn't tell her father where she was moving at all. At age 19, 20 years old, she filed for child support and won. He's a grown man now. So, but Black Lives Matter. Like all my Black Lives Matter people, I get the TV stuff is good, but there's a lot of things that we can focus on. Now that we got the opportunity and we got the support from other races, let's focus on everything. Let's not just focus on what's hot on TV. But again, you got these activists that's what they want. They want to go out there and scream Black Lives Matter. We don't have Juneteenth parade, gentrification. Like they want to talk about the things that just seem to be popular to talk about. But there's a lot of things that we can fix. So when I say Black Lives Matter, Ms. Vasquez, I mean all around the board. But not even just with police brutality. I mean all around the board in the entire system.
Well understood. Man, this she says, wow.
And you know what's funny? Yo, and look, I got a song, Willie. I got a song on the album called Black Father Statistics. And I can't wait to release that because it talks about, the statistics that Black fathers have because of the system, and it really discusses some things that I don't think a lot of people want to discuss, and it talks about the court systems and how you go to a correctional facility, for example. It's called the correctional facility. My thought was maybe to get some correction. You go to correctional facility for 15 years, you come out after 15 years, and because you were in a correctional facility, you can't get a job. And it's like, that's backwards. Yeah, like that's incorrect. Exactly. I don't go to college to be told I can't get a job. I'm going to a correctional facility to correct the mistakes that I made 15, 20 years ago because I served my time and I made this mistake 10, 15 years ago. Because of that, I'll never get a chance again.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I know exactly what you're saying because I made some mistakes in my past. Man, I'm 52 years old right now. Be 53 in December, and I'm right now Right now, I pay for things. I still have to pay for things that I done when I was 18 years old.
Yeah, see, and that's backwards. I want to give you a special shout out because you're December baby. I am too. December 17th, Sagittarius.
Number 27, Capricorn.
There you go. All right. December baby. We the coolest ones out there. But yeah, it's real. And you have to, now that we have an opportunity with everybody supporting, Black lives, we should really have those discussions about this type of stuff. And being on my level, I'm only a mayor in a city. So I feel like I gotta escalate myself a little bit higher to really hit them with what I'm gonna hit them with. I want to work my way up there, nice and calm. Okay, he did the right thing. He's smart. He ain't making no crazy mistakes. But once I get up to wherever I gotta go, I want to let people know this is what I've noticed in my term as an elected official that needs to change. And now that I'm here, this is what I want to do. Who's with me and who's not?
Hey, my that young lady, she said she can't wait for your music. She missed your work.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to get it out. I'm telling you, I'm anxious. Like everything I'm talking about right now is like just making me think of different songs on the project, man. I'm really anxious.
There's a few things, because everything that you're talking about is the things that I usually have in my head, and things that I'll be trying to figure out. How can I do this? How can like right now? I live in Florida. I live in Fort Myers, Florida. I've been here for 4 or 5 years now.
Okay,
something like that. And I've been trying to find a way. I want to do something for the homeless, because no matter where you go, there's homeless people.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like I actually I did one time. I reached out, and the response I got, it kind of jolted me. I was like, hey, maybe this ain't my place. Wait a minute, hold up.
Listen,
like, okay.
I've been thrown under the. But people thought that I got reelected in November, but people were sure that I was going to lose my election because of this homeless shelter issue we had. We have a homeless shelter in my city. It's been there for 30 plus years, and they had to find a new location because the owner of the building sold the building. So there was me and one council member. We were the only two on the council to sign a petition in support of the relocation of this homeless shelter. But of course, the people who lived in that area, they didn't want the shelter. They straight up, we love the homeless. We support the homeless. They were honest. Like, we love and support homeless. We just don't want it near us. And I was okay with that. But it hurt my heart because they had a young lady. She probably was like 7 years old, came to one of the council meetings. And she's like, Mr. Mayor, and everything I'm saying now is on tape documented if anybody wants to correct me. But she said, Mr. Mayor, please don't allow the homeless shelter to go by my home, because we know that the crazy men in homeless shelters kill people. And I was like, dang, this is what we teaching our kids? Like, that's wow. So at age 6 and 7 years old, her thought of homeless people are going to be crazy men killing people. And the part that made it even worse is my colleague on the council, after these people came to these meetings to confront us, she's like the activist, she removed her signature from the support of the petition. So now everybody's like, yo, she's like the progressive one, and she removed her signature, so it's time for you to do it. And I said, look, I love y'all, and I appreciate the time that I had here as a mayor, but I just can't remove my signature from that petition because I support the homeless too. And fortunately, everything kind of like dissolved, and the people who own the shelter, they pulled out, so the location was no longer an option, and the location that they had in mind, the person sold it to somebody else, and it kind of all just dissolved. And now we're trying to find another location for it. But I mean, for like 5 months straight, they were coming to meetings every other Monday to let me know that they did not want that shelter there. And I was pretty much by myself when it came to, who signed a support as an elected official. And when we talk about homeless, man, listen, I've been through it. And a lot of people said you're going to lose and you're not going to get reelected. And I ended up winning by almost 10 times what I won by my first election. So I realized that there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of heart. And even though it didn't pan out, a lot of people understood where I was coming from, and they supported me on it.
There's a young lady on here. She must know you pretty good. She say, that's my boy. Her name is Charlene Rainey Liverman.
That's Charlene right there.
She said, that's my boy.
Yeah. She hold me down, man. She hold me down in everything. We need something to eat. Might have been on Facebook. Like she's that aunt that I'm like a second son. You know what I mean?
love, man. That's real. We all got those. Shout
Yeah.
out, special thanks to my big brother, Big Mike, in the building. He say blessings. And again, that young lady who was asking you about the homeless, she said, I help the homeless. Where'd it go? Okay, there you go. I help the homeless, and we have a team. We ask for help, and nobody helps us, so we use our own money to provide. She also said that here in, oh, she's in Boston. Okay.
Okay.
Here in Boston, they made a tent, and believe it or not, they can't get what? Oh, I had to read. I should have stopped and read. Okay, she said here in Boston, they made a tent, and believe it or not, they can get high and provide. They made a tent for the homeless people where they can get high, and they provide needles.
Yeah, well, I'm send Maritza. Her name's Maritza. You said right? I thought I saw it pop up. Yeah, send her my email address. I need to make a trip to Boston, yo. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we'll do a performance fundraiser to we'll give 100% of the proceeds to the homeless, and we'll start connecting with some of the elected officials in that area. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. If that's true, that's crazy. Yeah, that's another.
You know what to say? I just, oh God, yeah, that was like lame. Like, what's going on? I hope she's joking. I really hope she's joking.
Yeah, as I said, if that's true, then that's crazy. I need to make a trip down that way.
Man, even Larry laughing. I mean, that sounds like a movie where the lady she was real rough. I can't remember the name of the movie, but the prostitutes was out on the street and she'd come and talk to them. She was a pastor. She'd come and talk to them every day and give them needles so they wouldn't use dirty needles. Oh, Charlene, your auntie said it stopped the spread of HIV.
Okay.
I can understand that point, but just the whole they made a place for them to go and get high.
Yeah, that's a little that's different, but
Larry Charles said they do that in Seattle as well.
Really? So that's why I said if that's true, I'd have to do some research on that. I don't want to make any comments on that until I know exactly what the purpose behind it is, but that just doesn't sound like stuff that I want to see.
She said it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why, man. My heart goes out to elderly, children, handicapped, anybody that can't really take care of themselves. And
Absolutely.
I did healthcare, caretaking for 7-8 years, something like that, before I got into what I'm doing now. And that was a lot of people didn't understand me. Before I got the job, I was like, man, I ain't never doing that. I ain't finna be washing nobody. And the first time I done it, and I saw the look in his face. Because the other people wasn't cleaning him, they just throw clothes on him and put him in the corner. Yeah, and it was more therapeutic for me than it was them, and it changed me totally.
Absolutely.
And when they took my rights, when I moved here to Florida, they took my rights away for when I was 18 years old. I mean, I'm not proud of what I done, but back then I thought I was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
I was 18. They took my rights for doing home care away. That broke my heart because that's what I love to do. Outside of music, that's what I love. I love to take care of people. Right. It's just weird, man. And I'm listening to when I was even reading up on you, I was like, man, this dude, he's doing things with the kids. He's doing this. He's doing fundraising. He's doing this. I'm like, man, after this show, I'm gonna have to talk to this man.
Yeah, listen, that's the purpose of it all, man. I tell people if I could do it, then you can definitely do it, and that's why I'm always upfront and honest. I tell people there wasn't a political bone in my body when I was in high school, college, and after school. It just wasn't in me. I literally got challenged. A lady, I tell a story all the time. A lady came to my job and she told me, listen, if you run against this person, then I'm going to ruin you. And I said, okay, I'm definitely going to run now. Like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to ever run for office. But when she came to me and said she was going to ruin me, then I confirmed to myself, I'm going to run now. I want to see. Good luck with that. And I've always, even in school, I was always like that. I love to challenge people. When we used to rap, this guy's, my father was in the Air Force. I was in Vegas. I was back in New York, and I was in Vegas. I was back in New York. And, we would go in the high school. It's like, yo, this kid said he could beat you in rapping. Okay, let's meet at the park. You know what I mean? And you do it. You freestyle. You battle. You win. You lose. But I love the challenge. And people ask me, well, are you going to go for a higher assembly, council, assembly or Congress or a Senate or governor. As long as people keep bothering me, absolutely. You know what I mean? If y'all leave me alone, I'll stay in my lane and just try to change the world in my way. But if people keep coming towards and coming for me, then I'm going to show you what I can do. But it's a different world out there, man. But I used to work at the VA too, at the hospital, at the VA, and when those veterans would come up to me and they would remember me. Some of them were on different different levels of of where they are mentally, and just the love that they show when I came in there, and they always smile when I walked in there, and it makes you feel good when you're helping people that need help, and they appreciate you whether they even know it or not. By smiling at you, they appreciate what you're doing for them, and that always warmed my heart, man. And that's just who I am, and I don't think that's ever going to change.
That's what's up. I'm gonna read a couple of these comments because they started to come up. Miss Whitney Summers, she says, "Yep, most humbling experience was cleaning the elderly in nursing school."
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what's up.
That's cool.
Thanks to you and all you do, Miss Summers.
If I was in one of my comedic moves, I would have ran with that one. So she threw it out there like one of my most humbling experience. No, that's just me, man. I crack jokes in there.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. Sense of humor takes you a long way in life, man. That's a beautiful thing.
I would have got her. Boy. Oh, really? That's you like cleaning the elderly people, huh? No,
that's crazy.
I know what you mean, though, man. Because when I used to come in, just what you just said, how the veterans remember you. I'd walk in, and you have clients that they sit and all they look depressed. As soon as you come in, the life just comes to them. They come, man. I used to work with a lot of the violent ones too that other people was afraid to mess with. I'd get on the floor and wrestle with them and play with them, and got to the point where I drew such a good rapport with them that their family members started saying, "Well,
oh yeah.
We bought a house just for him, so he don't have to be around other people. But we want you to come and work there." And and it worked out, man. I miss. They become your family because you spend more time with them than you do at home.
Yeah, most of the day. That's right.
Miss Maritza said she want to be in politics to fix problems, but with her mouth, she's scared that they will hurt her because she's worse than Tupac.
Listen, Miss Marissa, listen. One of the documentaries that I watched about Tupac, they edited to where he confronted himself, and one of the things he said was, "Me and my big mouth." One of the hardest things for me to learn how to do as an artist was to shut up. I even had people tell me, "Yo, stay off of Facebook. Don't respond." Because I would be sarcastic. One lady had put on Facebook one day, why would I vote for, this when I was running for council, why would I vote for somebody that smokes weed and plays rap music? And I said, I don't know. How much crack did you smoke to make up that comment? And they were saying, you can't respond. You can't run for office and respond saying something like that. I'm like, yeah, but she's accusing me of smoking weed. She doesn't even know my name. So she doesn't even know anything about me. All she knew me as Noodle. But they told me, when you're running for this position, you'll get support when you're professional and positive. So the sense of humor is cool, but don't make it seem like it's an attack at somebody, even if they're attacking you. And I had to realize that was something I had to learn over time. I'm still not perfect at it, Marissa. So don't think that because sometimes having that mouth is what will get your support, because people want somebody to be real. They don't always want you to go up there and oh, you're a big black N-word. Thank you for your comment. No, they don't want that response. Sometimes they want you like, yo, sit your behind down. They want that from some of these elected officials, because if not, you're going to continuously get the same elected officials that all of us are complaining about. You know what I'm saying? So just like everything in life, there's a balance. Sometimes you got to know when not to respond, and sometimes you got to know when to respond and how to do it when you do it. Don't ever think you did.
She won't make it.
Yeah. Right.
Marissa, she also said she do a lot of community. She do a lot in the community underground. Where you go? Well, they just pop. Okay, let me just go down the line because they coming in. Okay, I'm gonna just read them off. Let me check to make sure anybody on. Okay, nobody on that. we can go back to the comments. It said, I do a lot in the community underground. I'm where she go again? I'm going to take you on that offer to help because I don't know much politics, but it's insane on Mass Avenue. We call it Zombie World.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Reach out. If you get, A Rainey at cityofpeekskill.com or noodle1217 at gmail.com, or you can just Google Mayor of Peekskill and all my stuff will pop up one way or another. Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff too. But yeah, I could definitely work with you and see how we can help. How I can help.
Larry Tall said he would really like to see you move up.
Yeah, I'm considering it, man. Politics is for me, it's okay, but you got to think about your family. I have kids. I spend a lot of time with my children, and it's that the mentality that you have to deal with the political world, especially in this climate right now. You have to be like 3 times above the game of the average person, I feel, and it's because, again, you have so many elected officials making all of these promises, saying what people want to hear, and you got so many activists that just really believe that they're changing the world with their activism, right. And it's like you're as activists, you can make things worse than some of the politicians can, but it can be both sides. But so many activists are fighting right now for so much without actual direction, and again, that's just, if you don't know how to fight for something that you're fighting for, you can't go in a boxing ring with nunchucks. It just doesn't work. You'll be automatically kicked out and lose. You'll just automatically lose the fight. And even though you practice for 2 weeks with your chucks and you're in the wrong fight. And I think a lot of activists are really taking this in that direction. They just were Facebook posting is the new activism. That's scary to me. That's scary to me too. You put something on Facebook and 700 people believe it before they even say, let me go check that out real quick. It's scary, man.
Yeah, Larry, yes, I believe you, Larry. Larry put in. Now, do you believe that?
Yes, we did a track. I'm actually going to the studio tonight to talk to the same person that's on the track with us about a video concept that hopefully we're gonna finalize. So sometime late September we can start putting something together for that. But the song is, the song is dope, and the song is talking about, it's our time to shine, and everything that we've been through didn't make us worse. It actually made us better. And in the song, we're talking about how it's my time to shine. And I use a reference Sam Cooke in the song as well, because he's one of my favorite artists of all time too. I love listening to Sam Cooke's music.
All right. Want to say what's special to my brother Stephen Avery. Larry says it's a dope interview. Tiffany Hodges just gave a smiley emoji.
Yeah.
Larry, you can be in politics. I agree with you, Larry. You can't be in politics. You argue too much.
I agree with you. He said, "Don't do it. Don't do it."
Larry should be a lawyer. He should be a lawyer. Like debate.
There you go. There you go. Or listen, you could always be an activist to get the people that can be in position. I when my term is up next year, I'm planning on creating a committee for the local party in my city to prepare people to run for office, especially if you run for mayor, because they don't always know what's gonna happen to you when you run for office until you run for office. But I tell people, if you ever want to have a real background check, run for office. I mean, I was a gangster rapper, I was a thug, I was a womanizer, I smoked weed, some of the stuff I tell people, if I believe what they wrote about me, I wouldn't have voted for me either. I wouldn't have supported me either. Like, I'd be like, who me? I ain't voted for me. Look what I did. So like, look what I said in 2004. Ain't no way in hell vote for me. But you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. So I saw that question that just came up. I was on the council for 2 years, and in my city, the term for mayor is only 2 years. So I'm on my second term as mayor. So I was on the council for 2 years, and I'm on my 3rd year as mayor, which is my second term. So all collectively, I've been here for 5 years, and I got 1 more year. I got 2021 to finish out before my term ends and decide if I'm going to run again.
That's cool. Andre Lopez said, I can't pronounce his name. He's Cyclonus or something like that.
Oh, Cyclonus. Yeah.
He's on that album, bro.
He's a super producer. He produced this track called Hope. I got Hope Part 1 and Hope Part 2. And Hope Part 1 is just me introducing myself to the world, trying to promote Hope, which is a video for on YouTube featuring Shane Tukora. And Hope Part 2 has an exclusive feature with Styles P from The Locks on it. He got wind of the song, and he jumped right on it. He showed a lot of love on his verse for me and what I'm trying to do. So I'm really appreciative of that. That'll be out in a couple of days. We're releasing Hope Part 2, but that was produced by my man Cyclonus. So shout out to Cyclonus and all the producers on the album. M Nasty, GB, Omid, like they all did a great job. Urbanism, it was a great project to work on.
That's what's up. Blessings to my big brother Frank, Street Rev out there in Oakland, Bay City. Of course, Robert Buckley said Andre Rainey is the best. Building.
Who was that?
Andre was his Robert Buckley.
Oh, my man Buck. What's up, Buck? That's a smooth operator right there. That's a smooth operator.
Wendy Summers, this is a good point. She said you can't make change without the ability to listen just as hard as you speak. That's a good point right there.
Yeah, it is. And it is, what's funny about that, and you know this too, as an artist, our job is to speak. As elected official, our job is to listen. So it's we as an artist, we talk about things that we want to see, and as elected officials, we listen to the things that people want us to change. So it's an interesting opposite attract type of world I'm living in right now. But that's very, very true.
Wendy say, thank you, Andre, for everything you do for our city.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in, Wendy. Thank you very much.
John Jackson, he said, Mayor Rainey has delivered a lot of hope to Peekskill and the community. Love and respect for life.
John Jackson, that's a wonderful brother right there. Influential, inspirational, successful, proud brother right there. Nothing but love for John, forever.
Those comments right there kind of. It's amazing how one or two comments could speak millions of words. Right. Tiffany Hodges said, "We are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners." Hope.
There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's beautiful. Hope. Yeah, Hope is out. So check out. Yeah, definitely check out Hope. The Hope Part 1 is on YouTube. Hope Part 2 will be coming soon. We're looking to shoot a video for that too. Just trying to get the actual treatment in order. How we want to do it, make it very, very exclusive. But this project, man, it's been fun to really work on because I see the perception of things is so different now. And the music shows.
Rita got a really good question right here. She says, how do you feel about the corona and going back to school?
Oh, man. So, first of all, the coronavirus is, to me, is not something to joke with. That nobody actually has an actual cure. We don't, whenever they say that there's no cure for something, to me, that just means that they just don't know what's going to happen next. So, we don't have a cure for this. Okay, you don't have a cure for it. You can't control it. That means you have no idea what's going to happen next. So they're coming up with quick, fast thinking ideas to help limit it, which is the wear your mask, the social distance, to stay home, don't shake hands, don't ride on the subways, and don't be in public areas. So as an elected official, people have the choice of going to school or doing it virtually. On a personal level, I appreciate the virtual option. I'm not crazy about sending my son back to school or my daughters to daycare, knowing that this is still out there. But the other thing is, you have a lot of people who are saying that this is a fear tactic, and we should, and you got other people saying that we shouldn't be in public. We should stay home. We should stay home, and we should not go to school. We should be virtual. And those are the same people saying that they're never going to take the vaccination if there's a vaccine for it, or we're never going to. I wish they would come up with a vaccine. I ain't never taken a vaccine, but I'm not going to go out in public either. So I don't know what you're fighting. I'm really confused, But right now, I think that any safety precautions that you trust that you can take, whether it's what the CDC is saying, whether you believe that, whatever your religious belief may be, whatever safety precautions you can take, I encourage you to take them. I'm not going to tell anybody that they better wear a mask or I'm going to punch them in the face. If you don't want to wear a mask, stay away from me. That's fine. That's your choice. because we don't have any proof of what's preventing it from spreading. We just know what's slowing it down from spreading. So I encourage people, with technology that we have now, virtual is not a bad option, in my opinion. It's just not a bad option. If you can sit down with your kids, or if you can get a babysitter to sit down with your kids that you trust, that's actually taking safety precautions as well, to sit with your kids while they're in virtual school for a day or two during the week, or for the entire week, and I would definitely go for that option. That's what I'm doing with my son. So, it's serious though. I encourage, whether you think it's a conspiracy or not, just take safety measures, because it's serious.
That's what's up, man. And you don't get no clearer than that, man. This been real interesting, man. I really did enjoy this conversation.
Yeah, me too, brother. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna be looking more in depth into the music, man, because I'm gonna be uploading it. And with your permission, I would like to play. Every Sunday I do a show called Underground Power Hour, where I play no mainstream music, only underground or unsigned artists. And I do want to play, put some of your music on there. Because
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Tanya, she takes care of everything for me. So I love Tanya with all my heart, man. She's been one of the greatest people to work with and the best management team I've had in a long time. So if you can't get through to me, she has access to everything. She has access to she knows my schedule better than me sometimes. So it's
when I was talking to her, she did say, well, I'm going to look through his schedule and see what's available.
Right. It's real like that. Yeah, but we'll definitely get some music over to you, man. I would love that. I appreciate that. And like I said, there's so much. I think especially after this conversation, I think that you'll really appreciate the content of the album as well, man. I think you really will.
I know I will. I was digging through stuff that I've seen already. I'm like, man, this dude, wait a minute, he's the man. Wait, hey, this ain't real, but hey, it ain't real. But that time, okay, tag me. I have an artist. Miss Maritza, I'm not sure me and you Facebook friends, but look, you can. She said she need me to tag her because she have an artist. You can look me up on Facebook, Willie Dub Sees Jones. Dub Sees is D-U-B. If you're friends with Larry, I'm quite sure she is. Larry friends with everybody.
Yeah, he a popular brother, man.
Yeah.
I mean, make moves. He make the move.
Yeah, Willie Dub Sees Jones. You can Google me, it'll come up. And just friend request me and I'll accept the request, and then you tag your artist in. Every Sunday I do a show for all unsigned artists. Play your music, I do interviews just like I'm doing this interview. If you got an artist that you feel need to be out there, but I really think this was really needed because I learned a few things. I ain't no politician. I don't know.
Right.
I'm a street politician.
There he is.
I'm a street politician, baby. I'm saying? No, but man, I appreciate your time, man. I know you're busy. They say it's a dope interview.
Appreciate it, man.
She was my Marissa says I was shocked when he became mayor, but it inspired me.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. So that's what it's all about. And Cyclonus, man, we working on the next project, the follow-up, man. Inspiration. So, but yeah, the album will be out. Can I give a quick drop real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, yeah. So the album will be out September 26th. Is my mother's birthday, so I chose that date. It'll be on every streaming platform you could possibly find. Politics in Music. And I'm just, like I said, I'm looking forward to releasing this and getting this out. And I had this crazy vision. My brother Jamie and my management, Tanya, they believed in me and they helped me push through this. And Nasty was a great producer. He's the one who's he's the man behind the machine that's making all of this even a reality. He came up with the idea of getting back in the studio. My brother GB, also known as Jamar, he came up with the title of the album, Politics and Music. And I had this crazy dream that I could be a person to help change the world through politics and music. And that's what this is all about. So we're gonna see where we take it to the next level.
That's what's up. My brother Steve said enjoying the broadcast. Maritza, she just said
God
me
bless.
too.
Yes, God bless.
Maritza been very talkative. This other half, she says, impressive interview.
Much appreciated. God bless. Much appreciated.
And of course, Larry say, oh my God. Larry say,
Negro.
This dude's, you silly man.
Yeah, that's why we can't pull Larry in office yet, man. That's why we can't put him in office yet, yo.
He can't be no
You go out there and say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a Negro tissue. They're like, what?
She's
yeah, Marissa ain't no joke. Marissa's the truth. But yeah, but I appreciate y'all having me on the show, man. It really means a lot. And I'm just, continuously working to try to get the word out, get the music out, and get the message out. And hopefully, we create some change in areas that we need to see change. And we'll continue to fight.
Man, I appreciate your time, man. I really do. I'm not my average brother. I'm just trying to show you my little skills, man.
Hey, listen, man, there's always room for collaborations, baby. I can tell you that for sure. There's always room for collaborations.
No, but I'm gonna end the show with this song right here. This is a joint that I just did the day before yesterday. It's not even finished, but I made this due to the COVID, the gun violence, all of these things. I lost a lot. I lost loved ones due to gun violence in Chicago. I lost cousins due to COVID. The biggest loss I took was my nephew in Chicago, man. When they took my nephew Zach, that kind of did something to me, and
Absolutely.
It just kind of it really kind of knocked me for a loop, but it make me go harder. So this song that I'm gonna end the show with right here. This is something that I did in in retrospect to all of these artists. Oh.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Peace and love, y'all.
I gotta pull it up first. I can't hold it in. She told me to sing, so I'm trying to sing her a song, but I get embarrassed because Larry on here, Larry make me nervous.
He got the skills.
Larry make me nervous. No, but everybody that's tuning in, I like to thank y'all for tuning in. This is just my character. I just like to have fun, man.
That's what it's about.
Thing. But yeah, Zach TV1, Chicago, that's my nephew. I just want to say to everybody that lost somebody, there's always somebody out there that's dealing with something just as you have. And that's what this song is about right here. It's called The Ones I Lost. Check it out, y'all. As I sit around, I wonder, how will I be if you were still here? Because every time I close my eyes, your face appears. No matter how long it's been, I just can't focus. I sit around wondering what life would be like if you were still here. Because every time I close my eyes, your face appears. No matter how long it's been, I just can't seem to focus. Because I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. You were gone without notice. See, the mirror holds your reflection, so that's where I seem to spend a lot of time thinking about everything you told me and how to work hard for mine. By any means necessary, that's what you instilled in me. And I still live by that code, and that's why everybody keeping a smile on my face, you best believe it's hard. But I think about you, Dad, and I move forward to you, y'all. But being your namesake, I gotta win, can't lose. Because failure's not an option when they come and try to feel like that. And even though I know I'll never fill them to the exact size, you can prepare me for the time I'ma make you cry that you gave me. Yeah, I gotta keep living. Can't afford to fall back. Although the world is crushed when they took my nephews out. The world went through an uproar, full-blown panic. But my life felt like it just still don't feel. See, he was prominent, positive, trying to help others to live. And now he's gone, and the cops on bullshit. Man, something's gotta give. Dead center in a city, and they call it a cold case. All them cameras and they can't find shit. They lie with a bold face. You best believe that my spirit still hurt, because the last time I seen my nephew was on the front of a t-shirt. To see your face and the news was really berserk. And since these goddamn cops dropped the ball, I'm putting my detectives to work. You see, my payroll is stay cold as long as they fold. Tell Big Rob, Uncle Herb, my dad, because the dirt is home. 2020 was a shitty year, and I wish I could just give it back. In return for Dad, Big Rob, Uncle Herb, Zach TV, and Vicky Mac. See, Vicky Mac was like a sister. Been there through it all. We had each other's back with one simple phone call. Late night card games, mid-morning meals. The type of brother and sister love. And I know it's how I feel. So Big Rob, rev up the motors. Time for the next act. Starring Dad, Herb, Rob, Zach TV, Vicky Mac. As I end this piece, where I start, remember you're always in my memories. You're living in my heart. Love on one another while we're here, cause life don't last long. So give me my roses now. Don't wait till I'm gone. Rest in peace, Dad, Herb, Rob, Vicky Mac, and of course my nephew, Zach TV.
Bravo, bravo.
Right.
Definitely heartfelt. I like that. Definitely heartfelt.
That's
Yeah.
You
So,
know, man,
yeah,
I gotta say, man, I really enjoyed this interview with you, man, and I hope this is not the last time that we talk to each other, man.
oh, absolutely not. I trust and believe I'll be back. I'll be back again. Absolutely not the last time.
As soon as you get ready to drop, man, let us know, man. We want to do a special on you, man. So,
I appreciate that, man. I really do. I got nothing but love for y'all, man. And again, man, we'll definitely stay in touch and connect. And I really appreciate you for welcoming me and allowing me on your show, man. It really does mean a lot, you know, on behalf of me and my entire team. It means a lot to us, so we thank you. And if there's any way we can support on any level, politics or music, you let us know. We'll do what we can as well, brother.
most definitely, my brother. Well, we gonna. Hey, it's only fitting that I take them out the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So. Oh my God.
It feels so good to be back in the booth again, baby.
Oh man, I heard these songs in a minute.
What you need? What you need? Yeah. What you
Get
need?
the crates, huh?
What you need? What you need? What you need? What's up, NYC, now blazing double that. That brother's on his grind, very focused where that money's at. Miss me out with Boogie, I'll be maxing and relaxing, never trapping, strictly rapping in that hoop, laying more classics. He's rocking that starter jacket. Some call me a martyr or a soldier. I came from the best, I'm like Blue Ivy Carter. I'ma start a revolution in this beat, throwing my bitch good. Even on the West, they tell you that dude's a bitch good. He's blue. I'm a solo soldier rolling, and I roll with some real niggas. Nothing to pop off if they howling. If you need it, then we got those some vatos out in Moscow. You can call me that new capo, still repping it now on Paco. Never stopping till my team is up and back. Real MCs, with time to roll this Tony Rabbits on and back. And y'all wanna go to let me know no falling back. I'm on the track. You wanted to say my name, I holler back. I got what you need. What you need.
I forgot about that, yo. I got what you need. I'm representing that 914.
What you need. Live and learn. What you need. What you need. What you need. I got what you need.
Wow.
What you need. What you need. I got what you need. What you need. Yeah.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. Listen, nothing but love for you, brother. Stay focused and stay safe out there. And I'm always a phone call away if you ever need anything, any type of support, man. You reach out to us, and we'll do what we got to do, brother.
Salute you, my brother.
Absolutely, man. Peace and love, y'all.
Love.